Okay, today we are talking about septic tank basics. So here's sort of a general 3D model of a septic tank. Septic tanks come in different sizes, and they're usually sized depending on the calculated usage of the structure. So for example, a 2-bedroom house with 1 bathroom is going to have a smaller septic tank compared to a 10-bedroom house with 5 bathrooms. Sometimes septic tanks will have 1 chamber, sometimes will have 2 chambers like this one, or multiple tanks, multiple chambers, etc. But sort of the basic overview, you have your sewage water coming in from your house into the septic tank at the inlet baffle, or T, right here. And then in that first chamber of the tank, you'll note the heavier solids settle to the bottom. Then you have a middle layer of liquid, water and urine, etc. And then you have a top layer of scum, which consists of, soap scum, oil from your skin, residual oils from when you wash your dishes, etc. And then through another baffle, the water then flows into the second chamber. And you'll note in the second chamber, you have almost all liquid water, little to no scum layer, and very little solids at the bottom of the tank in that second chamber. Now, there are septic tanks that have aeration pumps. There are septic tanks that have monitoring devices with float switches that will activate an alarm or a flashing beacon if the water level in the tank gets too high. This one does not have that, obviously. Another thing to note, you'll see the 2 manhole covers on the top lid of the septic tank. You want to make sure you keep those accessible, but child-proof them. And then finally, the water will then flow out of the second chamber of the septic tank through the outlet baffle, or T, through a pipe or series of pipes that go out to your drain field or your leach field. And these pipes will be a series of perforated pipes. And those pipes will usually be surrounded by gravel or maybe like a filter fabric. And that water then percolates through the gravel into the surrounding soil and eventually makes its way back into the water table. Septic tank systems, there's some geology and some soil sampling that needs to be done at your location to determine where to place a septic tank, where to place the leach field. So you don't just slap a septic tank in anywhere. There's some research and soil sampling that needs to be done ahead of time. How high is the water table? Do you have a lot of clay, a lot of gravel, rock, decomposed granite, etc.? Some things to do and don't with your septic tank. Do have your septic system inspected every 3 years by a licensed professional. These recommendations come from EPA.gov. Do have the septic tank pumped out every 3 to 5 years as needed. Consult a septic service professional to advise you of the proper distance for planting trees and shrubs or pouring a concrete driveway, etc., based on your septic tank and leach field location. Consider installing a greywater reclamation system to reduce the amount of influent water going into your septic tank. So if you think about it, your septic tank is only so big, has such a limited capacity that it can hold, but it can only handle so much water and solids coming into it and water flowing through it. Same with your leach field. You don't want to have an excessive amount of water going into your septic tank and into your leach field where you overwhelm the system or cause a backup or flood the leach field where you end up with possible wet muddy spots out in your yard or serious problems. So a greywater reclamation system would greatly reduce the amount of influent or water going into your septic tank. What is greywater? Greywater is drain water from your washing machine, your bathroom sinks, showers, bathtubs. You do not put black water into a greywater system. Well, what is black water? Black water is drain water from your toilets, your dishwasher, and your kitchen sink. Also, let's keep the manhole covers accessible, again, but make sure they're childproof. You obviously don't want your kids being able to lift up the lid and climb inside or fall inside or have your pet accidentally fall inside, etc. You can also use low-flow, water-wise plumbing fixtures. So don't put coffee grounds, oil, grease, fibrous food matter, chicken bones, feminine hygiene products, trash, harsh chemicals, prescription medication, etc. down the drain. Why? Because you can clog your septic system and you can throw off the balance or the microbes that live in the septic system that break down the solids and the sludge. You can actually kill those off and cause your septic system and leach field to become plugged and clogged with sludge and not work properly. And that becomes very expensive if you have to dig up the leach field, install a new leach field, or have someone come out and repair your system. Also, do not drive or park on top of your septic tank or leach field for obvious reasons. The weight of the vehicle can crush those perforated pipes out on your leach field. And once you collapse or crush those pipes, they're going to need to be replaced. Again, that's going to be very expensive. Do not ignore your septic system. So if you have an alarm panel that monitors your septic tank and you see the beacon is flashing or you hear an alarm going off, don't ignore that. If you walk out in your backyard and you start to notice you have a constant wet spot, maybe you notice a sewage smell in your backyard, again, don't ignore that. Contact a professional. And do not plant trees or pour a concrete slab on top of your septic tank or leach field for obvious reasons. But again, you don't want tree roots going down into your perforated pipes of your leach field and causing it to get clogged or break the pipes, etc. So just a quick little overview. Here's what a complete greywater reclamation system looks like. Always check with your local authority having jurisdiction if your area requires a plumbing permit for this or not. But sort of the basic principle of the way this system works. Your water from your bathroom sinks, bathtub, washing machine will flow into this processing tank. There is a filter pump that will turn on and pump that dirty gray water through a filter, a reusable filter in this case, a DE filter, which stands for diatomaceous earth. And then it will pump it through a UV sanitizer or sterilizer, and then kidney loop that water back into the processing tank. And this filter pump has a high GPM rating. So what does that mean? Well, that means it's going to pump that water very quickly over and over again through the filter, through the sanitizer. That's what kidney looping means. So you're going to filter and clean that water very quickly. And then any excessive amount of gray water that you produce will go out of the overflow pipe to your sewer or septic tank in this case. And then the water from your processing tank is then pumped to fill and flush your toilets, irrigate your landscaping, vehicle washing, etc. And you can see there's also a final polish filter on the outlet pipe here of the distribution pump, a granular activated carbon filter. And that distribution pump keeps the water supply, the gray water supply, to your toilets. For example, under a constant pressure, when you flush the toilet, the pressure switch on the distribution pump senses a drop in pressure, and it will then turn the pump on until it reaches the cutout pressure that you set it at. Gray water lines and potable water lines are always kept separate, so you never have an issue of cross-contamination. And then also you'll note on this gray water reclamation system processing tank, there is a freshwater makeup valve. Why? Well, say you're on vacation, you come home, you haven't been producing any gray water, but you go to flush your toilet, you still need water to fill your toilet tank. Well, that freshwater makeup valve will maintain a minimal amount of water in the tank for that kind of situation, so you never run out of water to flush and fill your toilets or irrigate your landscaping, for example. I hope this information helps you. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.